Hi guys, welcome to this video. Welcome to becoming a trader, a FX trader. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about identifying the market structure. I've seen so many times that this is the first step that you need to understand before taking any trade, and there's lots of traders that they don't really understand how to identify the market structure. So we're gonna be talking about that in this video. So the first thing that you need to understand is that there's two options or two states on the market structure. The first one is the bullish or the bearish. Bullish is that the market is going up, so we're looking for buy. Bearish is that the market is going down, so we're looking for sell. So I'm gonna put this example. This is a trade I took 2 days ago, and it lasts 2 days. So I'm gonna show you the way I identify the market structure, and in that way I always do this at the beginning of the week, because as I'm a swing trader, I always take on Sundays to identify the possible trades that I might or might not be taking during the week. They all depend on that during the week we find all these instructions, all these confluences or all these scenarios needs to happen in order for me to take a trade. Otherwise, I wouldn't put my money in there. But the very first thing that you need to understand, and is very basic, is to understand market structure. So I'm gonna show you. This is USD CAD, USD CAD. So I'm gonna show you how to identify the market structure. So I have here, for example, so the red is the top of the price, and the green is the top of the price, and the red is the bottom. So in that way, I can identify the highs and the lows of the market, and that's gonna be the market structure. So the market goes here, then go here. Oh wait. Need to change the color of this. Yeah, let me just start again with that. So higher, lower, higher low, lower low. Why lower low? Because it's going down. At this moment the market is bearish. It touched this point, but it hasn't go over or above the last higher low, so it's okay. The market structure is still the same. It goes down, but it is not creating a lower low. It's not creating a lower low. This should be around here, but it's not doing it. Instead of that, it's breaking the market. So let's stop here for a second, and I'm gonna explain this part. Let me just bring this in front. So we can identify the market by higher low, which is this point here. Let me just make a little bit bigger for you. Higher low, and we always gonna need a lower low in the bullish market, in the bearish market, sorry. So I'm gonna put this here. This will be a lower low. This will be a lower low just right here. Yep, just there. Let me just remove the background. I don't like the background for this part. Yeah, so we have the higher low, the lower low. So where is the market at the moment? So let's put a square where the price are. So at the moment, this is where the market is in this stage, okay? This is the higher low, lower low. Then this point, how can we call this point here? How can you call this point here? It's a higher low, or it's a lower low, or higher high, or lower high. Well, because this is the higher low and this is the lower low, everything that is inside this area is just market structure. Okay, so it doesn't matter if the market goes up, down, ups, down, ups, down, ups, down, as long as it doesn't go above this higher low or below this lower low. Everything inside of that area is just market structure. Okay, if the candles continue creating new candles, but inside of this area, and doesn't go over this higher low or below this lower low, the structure market is still the same. It remains the same, which is bearish at the moment. At that moment we are bearish because we are looking for sales. The market's going down. Now when it breaks this lower low, you see, when it breaks in here. Oh, by the way, I don't take into account the tails of the bars. I only take into account the bodies, because there's more consistency in that area. The tail is just the price go up and it was dilated completely straight away, or the other way around, go down and then went up straight away. So I don't take into account the tails, I just take into account the bodies. So this point here is nothing until it breaks the lower low. So this is the lower low, and now this body here is breaking this lower low. So this point becomes the lower low now, because it's lower than this one. This is a low point, but this is lower than this point. So this is lower low, and the higher low becomes the previous top of the green point. So it's like a bouncing, you know, like a boing. Let me just put this in front so you can see. Into the front, yep. So it's like a bouncing ball, point. The ball bounce until here and then go lower, point. So this point here, that was the question before, the question mark, is the new higher low. Yes. Once the ball goes here, you can see that it doesn't break the higher low. Look, the body is here, so it's still in the same area. So because it's in the same area, we still use the same higher low. So higher low, it goes lower, but it doesn't go to a lower point than the previous lower low, which means that everything inside this area, oh, now I have to change that. Now the market is in here and in here. Yes, with the little rectangle, what I'm doing with the little rectangle is just to show you where is the market at the moment. Okay, higher low, lower low. So everything in the shade area is inside of that area is market structure. So higher low, lower low, market structure, market structure, market structure, market structure, market structure, and boom, then it breaks the higher low above, which means that this higher low now becomes a higher high. Why? Because it was going down, and now the market is going up. Okay, which means that this is not a lower low anymore, but a lower high, because we are going high now. And where it will be the lower high? In the previous red point, or the previous lower point, which will be this one here. So we move the shade area, and now we move it here. Do you understand at the moment? I hope. I'm trying my best. I'm not used to make the videos. As you can see, this is the first video of the channel, and I only create this channel because I was sharing this knowledge with my friends, like my close friends that want to trade or they start trading, but everything through WhatsApp, through a chat, and it's so complicated. I send so many messages and sometimes they don't even read it. So I think it's a kind of a waste of time doing it that way. So I thought, well, I can create a video and my friends can watch the video and some of you guys can watch it as well, and maybe you can learn something out of it. So now the market is bullish. Okay, now the market is bullish, is going up, and we have higher high and lower high. Okay, so everything inside the shade area is market structure. So market structure, market structure, market structure, a little bounce, and boom, it breaks again. It breaks under, so it means that now the market goes here. This will be a lower low, because now we're going bearish again, and the last green point, the top of the last green point, will be the higher low, sorry, lower high, because now we're going bearish. Okay, so with the lines I'm going to show you. So it's down, thin, 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 wait, I'm going to complete with the lines, thin, and that's it. So lower high, lower low, market structure inside here. I want you to understand this. Everything in the shade area is the area that we care. We want to look for our entries in the shade area. Don't bother to look outside of the shade area, because that's where our lower high and lower low points are, which is our structure, market structure, sorry. So once it breaks this lower low, automatically what happened, this point becomes a lower low, because it's breaking this line here, as you can see, the lower low, and the lower high will be this point here. So we're gonna change for this area. Yeah, I'm gonna block this area, I'm gonna block it, because I don't want to delete it. Now, as you can see, the shade area is giving me the market structure. Look, the importance to understand if the market is going lower, if it's going bullish or if it's going bearish. Why? Every time, if you don't know how to understand this, if you don't know how to identify this, you are just looking for random trades to take. But the first thing that you need to understand is, if you understand this point, if it's clear the idea for you, you're gonna have a clear idea of what kind of trades you're gonna look for. Because if it's a bullish market, which is going up, even when the market structure inside is going down, but if the bullish market is up, you are gonna keep looking for buying. And if it's going down, which is a bearish market, you're gonna be looking for sales, which is this case. So for example, I have the lower high and lower low here, so clearly it's a bearish market, yes, because it's going down. So what kind of trade I'm looking for? I'm looking for selling only selling. So as you can see here, I put some steps here of how to identify, what to identify before taking a trade. So if you can have a look here, let me just move this. So the first thing that we're looking for is to identify the market structure. We already did it, so let's put a tick. This is the kind of things that you need to do. I don't know how to put a tick. I don't know, just check. Just check. And let's put it on green. Let's put it on 10. Too small. Okay, so it's like a checklist. Okay, it's like a checklist. So number one, identify market structure. Do we have it already? Yes. Is bearish or is bullish? Is bullish. Okay, so now we know it's bullish. So we identify the area with the lower lower high, and the lower low. We identify these points, and we shade that area. In that way we know what's the area that we've been looking for. And now in the second step, we're gonna check for the zone. What's the zone? I need you to understand this area really well, this concept, sorry. The zone is the same than support and resistance. You know, more people normally call it support and resistance. I like to call it the zone because it's the area where the price is more compacted and then has a lot of bounces, you know. So for example, normally to identify this area, I use the Fibonacci retracement. So I put it in the lower point and in the higher point. I'm gonna delay this for 1 second. In that way, I think it's easier for you. Let me just eliminate this. Shit. We have the higher high, the lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So the zone is the point where the price reacts either way. If it's on top, it bounces back to the top, or if it's below, it bounces back to the bottom. Okay, so in this case, as you can see, I like to use this Fibonacci retracement to know where is my lower low and where is my lower high, or if it's bullish, my higher low and higher high. As you can see here, the price comes here, it bounces here, then it has some reactions. This little tail here, look, this little tail here, let me show you something. Once you see these little tails, it means that the price go down and then straight go up, go down and go up, go down and go up, which means what? Which means that it's touching this area and it has a reaction. You know, that's the point. You want to find the area where the price has a lot of reactions. If you see these big bars, this is not an area of reaction because it's creating big bars continuously with a big body. But when you see a lot of tails reacting either way, up, below, or above, it's because that area is really important for the market, you know. So normally, oh, let me just lock this. Normally, the way you can identify this, let me just put it like that. Yes, I'm gonna just put it like that. I have the lower high and the lower low, and I look for this point here. So this retracement here, you are supposed, let me just put a square for a second here. No. How do I do this? Oh yeah, I know how. I want to do something. Let me check if I can just yeah. When I'm gonna put this square here for a second, just because I want to prove one point. When we identify, oh yeah, just like that. When we identify the lower high and the lower low, we don't have these bars here. We don't have these charts here. You know, these charts hasn't been created yet. That's my point. That's what I'm covering there. But still, you have to identify the lower high, lower low, and the point is that you want the price to make a retracement to this area, which is called the zone. This is the zone. So normally, the strategy that I use, some people might like it, some people might not like it, but it's the way I can guarantee that I put the conditions to put a trade. I don't let the market to put the conditions. I put the conditions before I want to put a trade, to put my money in the market, you know. If I put my conditions and the market take my money, that's fine, that's all right. I play by my rules, but not by the market rules. And why I'm telling this? Because even though I know the lower high and the lower low, I'm not gonna take any trade until the price make a comeback to the zone, which is this area here for me. So as you can see, I divide the area in three parts. Once you reach this third, this is called the zone. I'm gonna put it here. This will be the zone. This area here will be the zone. Yeah, this line, you know, lower high, lower low, and I'm waiting that the price make a comeback to this area. So I'm gonna make a point here. Yeah, yellow. That's the zone. That's the zone. Now remember something, the zone is not a line. I draw it as a line, but it's like a guide for me. It's just a guide, a line guide for me. But the zone is a zone, not a line. It's a huge area. But I like to mark it in the comeback of the price. When the price start moving to the area, then I start looking for the entry. So this is the rule that you never have to forget, is I don't take any trade outside of the zone. All the trades I take is because the price is in the zone. It doesn't mean that it reached the zone and I go and it doesn't mean that it touched this line and I put a sell straight away. No. Then we have to identify the zone. So let's go to the checklist. Have we done it? Yep. So now we move to the next step. So at the moment we have, I'm gonna delay this because I just want to prove you the point that we don't have those charts yet. Okay, we identify the market structure is bearish. We identify the zone, which is this area here. Of course, this hasn't been created yet. We only have the last point. I'm gonna show you a trick to identify the zone. Normally we only have this. Yes, the market has been just created until here. Yes, we don't have anything on the right. If this is the lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, normally the zone is gonna be in this area below the last point or the previous lower low, you know. So it's like if I move this, let me just move this here to explain. Yes, this is just an example. So this is the market, this is the market is here. Let me just move this to do this like that. So this is the market structure. Then it breaks below, so the market goes down and the market goes down. Now we have our lower high here. I want you to understand this very well. So we have the lower high, lower low. Then this will be market structure until it breaks below here. Once it breaks, this is the lower low, this is the lower high now, this is the area I'm interested in now. Normally the zone is gonna be here. Normally. That's what I want you to understand. The last structure point is normally where the zone is. This is not exact science, but because I have seen the pattern so many times, I can tell you normally, believe me, normally the last structure point is where the zone is, and you want to look for the zone. Why? Because we're gonna be looking to do this, that the price arrive here and continue. Yes, two things can happen. Is that the market goes here and continue going up like this, which in that case will mean that now is not bearish but bullish. It has moved from bearish to bullish if it goes here, or it's gonna go for the zone and then go down. Okay, so normally what we want to do is to look for this zone. This zone is really important. I want you to, I don't know if you want to take a screenshot of this, because this is what I think is the best way I can explain it. You know, I think it's very clear in this way. This is the zone or the area where you want to wait the price to go here, and once it's here, then we need to look for different things to put our trade. So to do this, you know, to put our trade with our risk, whatever, risk radio. But my point is, if I'm selling because the market is bearish, I'm not gonna sell in on other area but the zone. I'm not gonna sell here, I'm not gonna sell here, I'm not gonna sell here, well, maybe here depending on the comeback. But my point is, I have to wait until the price reach the zone. What could happen? Sometimes it never reaches the zone. So sometimes what is gonna happen is that from here it's gonna move here, maybe here, and then boom, it's gonna break lower point and then continue. That's fine. If that happens, we only move our lower low, lower high, and then we look for this zone. Okay, I don't know if that's clear for you guys. I really hope this is been clear for you. I know that, look, I know I'm not the best person explaining, I'm not a teacher, but the more I do this, the better I will get, I will improve. But I want you to understand this concept. If you understand this concept, you have a lot already, you know. Now you have to understand it, but you have to apply it. So let's get back to the previous. Oh no, I can actually left that here. It's really good example. And let's come back here. I'm gonna take the, well, I can create another lower low. So the lower low, higher low is here. Lower low is here. And now this is the zone where we can see that the zone has been touched in this point. You see? This point is the first point the zone has been touched. So now we have to check this. We have the zone, have the structure. Has the price touched, has the price reached the zone area? Yes. So we can check here. We can tick our checklist. We have the market structure, we identify the zone, the price reached the zone. Now the fourth step is, once in the zone, go to a lower time frames for entries. Okay guys, this point here, number 4, it's more complex. I'm gonna leave this video until now because I want you to first understand the very first, the step 1, step 2, step 3, and I want you to practice as well on your trades. Identify the market structure, if it's bullish or bearish, identify the zone, and let the price reach the zone. I don't want to make this video so long, so in the next video I'll be explaining the 4th step, that is, once the price is in the zone, we go to lower time frames to look for entries. In this case, what I do is to look for the entries in the 5 minutes time frame. Okay, remember that the market structure that we check here, it was in the 4 hours. time frame, but that's only to understand the market structure, which at the same time is identify the market direction, you know. So where the market is going, it's going up, it's going down, whatever. But this the fourth step is really important. It takes another video to not make this video so long. So just the last point is, if you find this video, if you find good information, quality information in this video, just subscribe to the channel, and I'm gonna leave on the screen, maybe here or here, I don't know where, I'm gonna let the new Instagram. I open an Instagram account with this channel as well. It has the same name. It's a brand new Instagram account. Go there and follow me, because in the Instagram account I'll be sharing on the stories. Every Sunday I'm planning to upload in a history on stories the trades that I might be taking during the week. Why I say I might? Because the only thing I do on Sunday is to identify the market structure, but during the week I have to wait the price to reach the zone, and once in the zone I have to wait to the price or the stock or the stock of the of the currency. I need to wait that the price do what I'm going to explain in the next video to entry the position, to open a position, either way, if it's selling or buying. So just go to Instagram. This is the account. I'm going to leave the image around there, and subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video, guys. Okay, bye bye.